3 in the 300 at Transit Lanes. It is Storm Beat the Champ presented by BowlersMart. Here's our lineup for today. Our first-time returning champion, Connor Nowak, will look to make it 2 in a row. This is the lineup he'll face. Tom Murphy, Mya Conway, Jonathan Kramer are the challengers for the title here today. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Williamsville, New York. I'm Paul Peck with Buffalo Bowling Hall of Famer Sue Nawojski. As you look at that lineup, it's a very interesting mix of young and up-and-comers and some experience. How might that factor into the way things go today?
Well, that's a great question, because will the guru win out? Because Tom is the guru of all these young people, but we have someone from Team Canada. We have a very successful high school bowler and a very successful college bowler. So I just love to see how this day is going to turn out.
Yeah, we kind of got all things covered here for you on the different groups and experience levels. How is it going to get covered on the lanes behind me? How can they figure out the oil that's covering those lanes? All questions we're going to start to answer when we come back and get things going. It is Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart. Let's get rolling. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Latina Boulevard Foods, your favorite family in food distribution. And by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowlingnewyork.com to find a center near you. It's Jonathan Kramer and Mya Conway, and speaking of the setup of the various different levels of age and experience, how about this matchup between the 23-year-old from Canada and the 17-year-old from right here in the Buffalo area? And again, continuing that theme that we've talked a little bit about really having some of the terrific under 25-year-old bowlers be a part of this season too.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see the youth that's coming up today. And, like looking at their fundamentals, looking at their games. We've got the two-handers, that power players with all the rev rate. And here we have, a really strong female who, has just really solid old-school fundamentals. Everything's in the right place. Like maybe not as much ball speed or as much power, but we're going to do this with, accuracy and equipment.
23 years old from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. One of the few Canadians we've had a chance to have on the show. One of the more prominent ones is Mya's connection to our show, and that's Rick Frank, who's been on our show a number of times. She is teammates with Rick in one of the leagues that she bowls in. And we'll touch a little more when she comes back around to what it really means to be as part of Team Canada. That's a big deal. Speaking of big deals, how about Jonathan Kramer, 17 years old from here in Williamsville, New York, a high school senior who is one of those young and up-and-coming high school and about to be college-level bowlers in Buffalo. And there's a little disparity in styles, isn't there?
Yeah, but they're playing the lanes pretty similarly.
Scoring and stats today are powered by French Pub, a good place for a good time. Yeah, I mean, big, tall, long arm, lots of backspin, lots of, arm coming back on the throw, lots of power. And then to the point you talked about, Mya, very precise, and the locations are key, and the placement is key. And, of course, two-hander versus traditional as well. There it goes.
That you might see a little bit more of with his rev rate and his style. He's creating a lot of revs there. He's going to bring that pin across to take that out.
You could kind of see that one coming, couldn't you? So could he. So could he.
Chances are he sees that a lot.
So Mya Conway has qualified for Team Canada. Member and again, that's a huge honor, right? Like, we've never had a Team USA bowler on our show here, but we have a Team Canada, and again, she's one of 8 people on Team Canada, and we'll try to get into the top 6 that are going to go to compete in tournaments like places like Germany and other places overseas. It's a really, really big deal.
Another good shot here. She's having a little trouble getting that 10 out, but she's not having trouble getting to the pocket. So she's got a lot of surface in her hand, and that surface is, you know, reading the lane, keeping the lane smooth for her, but losing a little oomph when it gets there. Those are flat 10s, those where the 6-pin kind of just lays in front of the 10-pin.
She is the 4th female bowler to make Beat the Champ as we wrap up season number 2 here, and she would like to join your friend Julie Selk as the only female winners to win here on Beat the Champ. And if she keeps making those spares, she's got that chance.
Yeah, that's the one thing about bowling is, you know, there is, like I said, a little power difference, but there's no reason why women and men can't compete against each other. I mean, Liz Johnson's, you know, accomplished with the men's tour. Kelly Kulik has won. I mean, you can do it. And I think the matter of the only being 4 bowlers in the show is just a matter of fewer women try out. And I think more women should come and try out.
2025 Canadian Youth Singles Champion, 2022 Canadian Youth Doubles Champion, 2025 and 26 Canadian Team Trials Top 12. So all of those things go to the point that we said that she is an amazing high-level bowler. We're excited to get a chance to see her.
She got that one in a little bit, trying to help it. Now those 10 pins have kind of made her feel like she needs a little extra. She needs to be a little higher flush in the 1-3 pocket, a little extra hit. And she tried to help that one along, and the dry boards in the middle kind of took that ball away. So
a little bit of a picket fence on the right-hand side. The 3-6-10 is the challenge for Mya. Career high 279 game with a high 758 series. So still looking for that career reverse 300, but it's coming. There's no doubt about that.
You can see she takes her wristband off to shoot her spares, so she doesn't get that extra hook on the ball.
Is that what the wristband can give to you? I don't know. That's the first time we've talked much about that piece of equipment.
I mean, yeah, it keeps your wrist stable, gives you, you know, helps you hook the ball. I know I myself have never personally worn one, so I don't really know the benefits or lack of benefit from it. But my teammate Liz Johnson has worn one off and on, and I know that to flatten out the ball, you're going to have to take that off. So if you want to throw flatter at your spares, you're going to get that thing off your wrist.
Strikes in the first 2 frames for Jonathan Kramer. Strikes in the first 3 frames for the 17-year-old with the 219 average during his most recently concluded high school bowling season. That resulted in him qualifying for the New York State Finals on the high school end of things. A senior at Amherst Central High School, about 15 minutes or so from here in Williamsville at Transit Lanes. We had a 16-year-old on our show last week. We have a 17-year-old on our show this week. It's just awesome to see what the high level of high school youth bowling is in this town.
Well, that was a really cool camera angle, and he didn't disappoint by putting that right on track.
Boy, I know it's because it's a two-hander, but that cross-armed approach is really unusual.
It does look pretty unusual.
All right, so now Mya, as precise as she has been with spares in the first 3 frames, has to look over there and watch Jonathan Kramer knocking everything down. And, you know, you got to bowl your game. I get that. But the margin of error has slipped away a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one thing with a one-game match is if you're not striking, your opponent is. You might be getting to the pocket, but you're giving up. She's giving up hit, you know, so that ball's getting her there, but it's not striking. It's not hitting properly, and making spares isn't going to be enough in this match against Jonathan.
First time bowling on television for both Mya and Jonathan. There's always a little bit of an adjustment that goes along with that as well, too. And I think one of the interesting things some of the bowlers have pointed out to us through their first 2 shows is, you know, there's the crowd, there's the lights, there's a little bit of the glare, and you add into the darker wood lanes here, which is unusual, and I think that might add a little more layer to the glare factor, as you can kind of see.
Well, if you're a true spot bowler, you know, if you're looking to actually like roll over your target and stare over your target, it makes it a little more difficult in this lighting because you are getting the reflection off the scoreboard and it is darker in here. And of course the lanes are dark brown, which is unusual. But, you know, you're going to be hitting more area than you are actually able to see your target.
We are bowling on synthetic lanes here at Transit Lanes, and the oil pattern, as Sue's about to tell you, is much tougher than a house shot.
Yeah, this is a fresh pattern, 5.25 to 1 ratio, which is basically kind of flat if you're comparing it to like a 12 to 1 for your league bowling. For the disparity between the oil and the dry is much less significant on this. So if you miss in like that, the ball will continue to hook, where when it's tighter in the middle, when you've got more oil in the middle, it's kind of holding that ball off from going high. So she did switch balls here because she does realize she does need more hook and needs to have a stronger hit to the pocket, and that took off on her, and she seemed to be a little bit surprised.
Now, in general, through our first 2 weeks here on this similar oil pattern, the scores have been a little on the lower side. We've had some 205s that have won, and then every once in a while, Connor Nowak, as he did in our last week's show, put a 254 up, which is great no matter where you are. But I do think the scores have been probably, you would tell me, a little bit lower because of the challenge of the oil pattern. Good spare peck up in the 5th for Mya Conway.
And that's what it's designed to be. It's not designed to be impossible. It's not designed to play like a true sport shot. It's supposed to be in between a sports shot and a house shot, but it would fall to the more difficult side just based on the ratio. And it's short. It's a 39-foot pattern, so the back ends are going to be hooking, and right now they're really, really clean. So it's something that, you know, you got to tame down those back ends, which he's doing beautifully. I
believe you said that won't be the first time that a pin slides across to take the 10 out, and there you go. Perfect through 5, Jonathan Kramer.
Yeah, so he's able to like generate this great rev rate, but he's also able to get up the lanes. He's not trying to open it up and create all kinds of area because he can't. You're going to be that's not going to work for you today. Playing outside is where this pattern starts, and he's playing it properly, and you know, he's able to generate a whole lot of power.
6 frames, 6 strikes for the 17-year-old Jonathan Kramer, off to a great start here on Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
The 23-year-old from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Mya Conway, ready for the 6th frame. Mya has the perfect job for a young up-and-coming bowler. She works the front desk at the Skyway Bowl in Hamilton, Ontario. I'm sure you're going to tell me that she only works the front desk so she can go bowl and practice anytime she wants, right?
I'm going to say bowlers love to be around bowling.
A little frustration kind of showing for the first time from Mya.
Yeah, this is tough because she had a better shot to the pocket with that other ball, but it wasn't going to carry. So now she had to make a decision to switch balls, and she's still holding a lot of surface in her hand, and there is just not enough hold to hold that ball off.
Not bowling for a college team right now, but listen up if you're a bowling coach out there and you're watching. Mya said she would love to possibly come to the States and get her master's and bowl collegiately. So if you're not aware of her by now and you might have an opening on your team, you might want to give the old front desk at the Skyway Bowl a call. Only one of the two, so it's an open in the 6th for Mya.
I guarantee you she doesn't miss a lot of spares. I mean, in order to be in the position she's in, she's an excellent spare shooter, and that was off by just a hair. Nothing worse. That spare should be an easy spare, but chopping it when that happens, it's so aggravating because you know you need to, you know you should make it. And also wrapping it around, which is what she just did. 9 times out of 10, that's going to make that.
Kind of waiting on the ball return to get itself going here so Mya can kick it in for the 7th frame. And here we go. This is our 3rd of 4 weeks here to wrap up season number 2 of Beat the Champ. And, of course, next week you're going to want to be with us because that is our season-ending championship showdown. We call it the Beat the Champ Invitational, and it was open to any bowler that qualified for our show through the course of this season. And we've got 4 bowlers that qualified for that. And on the line, a big $2,000 first prize and the Healy Miller Trophy. That'll be really fun and exciting. That'll be on next week's show. And there Mya gets her first strike.
So Mya went back to the ball she started with. That gave her the best shot to the pocket and found a way to just hit a little higher flush. Maybe a little too high flush, but she did trip out that 4.
There you go. Finally, fun smile and cool reaction from Mya Conway. Meanwhile, cool as a cucumber customer here has been Jonathan Kramer, the 17-year-old from right here in Williamsville. Has been perfect through 6. That one stayed right, and that ends the strike run at 6.
Yeah, that went straight up the oil boards.
It did, didn't it? How often does like a high school bowler of Jonathan's caliber see oil patterns that are a bit of a tough test like this one?
Well, that's a great question. Probably not so much. He's probably playing in more than he's playing out, but they do hit some, on some synthetics. Like I hear Transit Lanes, it's a tighter synthetic, so it kind of pushes you to the right. Honestly, he looks like can move around the lanes pretty good, and he looks pretty comfortable playing out there. And I know that I've seen him play in plenty of times. He comes over to my place with Amherst High School, and he's always an impressive bowler.
Yeah, you host a couple of different high school teams over at Cherry Laurel Lanes.
Yeah, we have Star Point and Sweet Home, and they're in the same division. So, we'll see these kids a couple times a year for both schools.
There you go, back to a powerful strike in the 8th frame. Eighth frame now for Mya Conway coming off her first strike in the 7th. Boy, what a, you know, again, I've learned from you, Sue, that it different doesn't make it better or worse, but talk about the contrasts in styles of these two bowlers going against each other.
But they're both, if you notice, they're both playing the same part of the lane. So they're both to the right, which is where the shot is. And I find that in bowling, there's a lot about break point. Like, you're still going to get to a similar break point regardless of how you get there, and you just have to play your own game to get there. But again, in this case, her best shot to the pocket has been a ball that kind of loses energy when it gets there.
Spare in the 8th frame for Mya Conway.
And your opponent's just throwing pins everywhere.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So you have competed at a high level. You are a Hall of Fame bowler here in Buffalo. One of your dear friends and teammates is Liz Johnson, amongst the greatest women's bowlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So you are qualified to answer the question that I say to you is, what's a piece of advice that you might give Mya as she embarks on this bowling adventure of hers?
Well, I guarantee you that some of the advice that you would give her, she's already living by to get that place, which is, number one, always make your spares, always shoot your spares, never reset your spares. When you're practicing, shoot every single spare. Do not hit that reset button ever. And you can tell she's a great spare shooter, and that's going to get you out of a lot of trouble. I mean, the chances of her having to meet somebody like Jonathan Kramer is not that common. So, keep yourself in shape and get your rest and make your spares and learn your equipment.
It all comes back to make your spares, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's super important.
9th frame now for Mya Conway. Yeah, and again, and you mentioned it super briefly there, like, understand the equipment, make sure you have the right equipment and you know the right times to use the right equipment. Because I would think that in the way that Mya bowls, that becomes even more critical because she has less of an ability to just blow the pins out the back of the lane like Jonathan does, whether he has the right ball or not.
And new stuff comes out all the time, so it's a lot to keep track of. And you have to know, your own game and your particular rotation to know how to drill something and, have a bag that has everything you need in it.
More power striking from Jonathan Kramer. And that will clinch the victory. And the 17-year-old high school bowler from right here in the Buffalo area has got his first Beat the Champ victory and a matchup with Tom Murphy in our next go-around here on this edition of Beat the Champ. I think in that next match, we're going to talk a little more about the really unorthodox way he holds the ball and generates his rev rate. I know you hate it when I ask you rev rate specifics because it's not your thing. Kramer and Tom Murphy, it's next here on Beat the Champ. It's match number 2, and it will feature Jonathan Kramer and Tom Murphy. The winner heads to our championship match against Connor Nowak, but we get our first look at Tom Murphy. It's his second appearance here on Beat the Show. We have not seen him since early in season number 1 when he had the unfortunate bad luck to have been the opponent when C.J. Buttery bowled a 289.
Another young, successful high school bowler.
We will see C.J. Buttery on next week's Beat the Champ Invitational. So Tom Murphy just wants to avoid having his opponent put up that kind of number against him, although his opponent, Jonathan Kramer, coming off a 267, which is the highest score we have had now in 3 weeks here at Transit Lane. So not a great start for Tom, and he'll have to figure out a way to rescue these 2 pins.
No, a good shot, and he could have easily left one or the other, but unfortunately he left them both.
So he'll get one, and it'll be an open to get started for Tom Murphy. And now, can Jonathan Kramer keep that momentum going from the very impressive performance? Again, we have talked a lot about the scoring has been a challenge. It's been tough here. You've had a number of winners at 205, and here comes Jonathan just throwing a whole bunch of strikes and putting up a 267.
Nice little
He
break
is the
there.
king of the late pin action, isn't he?
Well, he throws a lot of pins around with that power.
So it'll have to be just a 1-pin spare here for the 17-year-old. Both of these guys are from right here in Williamsville, New York, just outside of Buffalo. And I would venture what I believe to be a correct guess is that this is not the first time either of them have been hanging out here at Transit Lanes throwing strikes.
Well, he bowls for Amherst High School, and I'm pretty sure this is their home house. So that could be plus or minus, though, because this is very different from what he ever bowls on.
Sure.
And he doesn't bowl in this boutique center with these dark lanes. So I think he's just treating it as the challenge that it is and the unique experience of bowling on Beat the Champ on TV.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Andrew Kopech, who won our first show and then lost in the finals of our second show, did tell me that it was took a little getting used to. He said he was having a little trouble finding his target, his arrow, because of the glare, because of the dark lanes. Again, there's so many things that get thrown at you as a bowler. Is that just another one you have to figure out?
Yeah, I mean, it's rare you'd see this, but sure, there's going to be always something distracting, whether it be whoever is next to you, or there's always going to be distractions. But yes, it was difficult to find your target. If you're a target bowler, this was a little more challenging.
And there's the strike for Tom Murphy, the 54-year-old from Williamsville with a 220 average right now. And again, the one thing that jumps off the resume of Tom Murphy is he was the 2022 Obenauer Masters champion. And in the Buffalo area, that is considered the most difficult and most prestigious annual tournament.
And we're taking a look here at his style when he's cupping the ball, not putting his thumb in it. Kind of similar. I think of Derek Green when I see that, because you're talking about such strong, cupping your wrist like that. You have to be so strong. You're literally holding that ball, suspending that ball in air.
Back to back.
But they do not have the problem of clearing the thumb hole. I mean, we see these people interchanging the thumbs a lot, and they try to use the same thumb in every ball because that's one of those things that are subject to, like, your body temperature, if what you've eaten, what you drink, what's cold in
the
here.
air,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
It affects your thumb hole, and your tape is in and out, in and out. They just take that right out.
So we want you to watch Jonathan Kramer here because it's a very interesting and unique both approach and follow-through. The results are not unique, but the way he gets there is.
I know. We're not used to seeing, this bent elbow and your arm crossing over the left side of your head. That's nothing that was ever taught. And it's just part of the new game. I mean, and he seems to get a lot of twist on it, but it's still going straight up the boards. But the head action and the arm action is just very, very different from what it used to be, but getting to be more commonplace.
Now, again, I ask you these questions to dive into the specifics of being a two-hander, and it's not really what you understand. But does that rather dramatic crossed arm beginning create more rev rate? Is that the goal of that?
Well, the whole name of their game is rev rate. So they're creating rev rate by not putting their thumb in the ball and being restricted by that motion. So, yes, it has to be creating more rev rate. But what's always been interesting to me is how they can get it down the lane, because it looks like they're pulling everything to the left. And so that's the uniqueness to me of the two-hander. I mean, the swing's going to dictate the direction of the ball. So his swing is generally going straight, or even he's playing really up the boards. But if he has to play, if he has to swing it, his swing's going to go that way. He's not going to be doing it with his arm or his hand. He's going to continue with the same motion that he's doing now. So he's just creating revs.
So after the open in the fourth frame for Jonathan Kramer, that's 3 in a row now for Tom Murphy. So we've pretty much laid out the rather unique styles of both of these guys in their own special ways.
I mean, this looks very traditional, but again, his thumb's not in it. He's creating that just off his wrist. And he was a traditional bowler at one time. He has switched to this. And I know that he's taken time to help Jonathan, too, with his game, And so it's kind of like the teacher and the student here.
There you go. 4 in a row for Tom Murphy, all coming off an open in the first frame. And now Tom Murphy is kind of doing to Jonathan Kramer what Kramer did to Mya Conway in the first show, which is just pounding strikes to make your opponent start to think.
Throwing good shots.
So now Jonathan has to shake off that open. How about that for shaking it off?
That's great. The uniqueness of this is that Jonathan hasn't been behind in a match yet, so this is a different mindset for him. He's bowling someone that he knows and respects and that has been a mentor to him, and he's fallen behind in the match, so it's a different mindset.
Yeah, we got the signs out, got the fans out. There you go. You've got the Tom sign versus right next to the Jonathan sign. Oh, that's not fun. He's got donuts on his bowling shirt. He's got one big hole in the middle of the pins right now.
Yeah, that was left of target for him. Catches, and it catches that dry in the middle of the lane.
4, 6, 7, 10 left here for Jonathan in the 6th frame. And he'll get 2, which means it's a second open for Jonathan Kramer. Winner of this match goes to our title match. Come on back, it's Beat the Champ.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
we are
The bowling proprietors.
Of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Tom Murphy ready to go in the 6th frame, working a string of 4 strikes in a row. Talk about shaking off an open in the first frame and whether that can set a tone for the rest of your match or not. Not for Tom.
He went from down 11 to up 29.
5 in a row.
Here comes that word experience back into play.
That is Jonathan Kramer has so much going for him. That is just what he does not have going for him, which is not his fault. He's 17 years old.
Right. And the more you find yourself in these situations, the better off you're going to be, but he's still only 17.
You know, and again, I can't emphasize it enough. You get a lifetime experience when you win the Obenauer Masters here in Buffalo. It's a grueling, 5-day tournament sometime. Like, it is bowling after bowling, and it is the best of the best that compete in it every year. And if you come out on top of that, you go into that best of the best group. So his opponent has now 6 strikes in a row, and Jonathan Kramer might be seeing this one start to slip away a little bit, because those have been his 2 worst shots in back-to-back frames.
So I think what's happening is that the ball's is starting to pick up in those dry boards, and because he seemed to be a little bit confused by the result there, and the lanes are just changing for him, which he wasn't going to be able to keep that line, forever. And Tom's inside of him. Tom's not really playing that line.
We had 122 people try to qualify for our shows here at Transit Lanes. That's the second most we've had for any Beat the Champ show, and we have, that number means we're getting the best of the best, which we have through our first 2 shows and here today as well. And all the bowling has been good. You throw in that non-house shot that we're throwing at everybody, and we've really had some bowling that has tested people, both from the competition on the other side to the lanes in front of them. And I think the fact that we've had a group of younger bowlers is great, but it's a great learning experience for them as well.
It is.
Because if you can take this sport to the places that you want to, these are the things you are going to run into on a regular basis.
Yeah, it still is a matter of a unique lane condition transitioning, and you really don't know how to do it until you see it, kind of playing out in real time. Because what everybody else is throwing, where they're playing, is affecting how your ball is going to read the lanes.
8th frame now for Tom Murphy, and the strike string comes to an end.
Yeah,
at
that
6.
one got right on him. He missed right on that, but stayed out of trouble. 2 pins going to be a nice easy spare for him to make.
I was starting to think that he lost the only other time he's been on Beat the Champ to an opponent that threw a 289. He might have come back and thrown his own 289, but I don't think he's going to get there now. Spare in the 8th frame for Tom Murphy. Connor Nowak, our defending champion from last week, awaits the winner. And then, of course, the winner of this match, this championship match, becomes our returning champion in the fall when season 3 kicks in, because next week is our special Beat the Champ Invitational with 4 new bowlers trying to claim that Healy Miller trophy. And there's back to striking for Tom Murphy. That's going to clinch the victory. It's going to be Murphy and Nowak in our championship match. Come on back to Transit Lanes. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
It's our title match, and it's our returning champ Connor Nowak to take on Tom Murphy to determine who our last weekly winner of the season number 2 is going to be here on Beat the Champ. And whoever it is, they get to be the champion for the rest of the summer.
That's right.
Talk about bragging rights, because they will come back as our first champion when we start season 3 in the fall. Does that get you like free drinks at Cherry Laurel Lanes if you're the reigning Beat the Champ winner, right? That could be abused very easily, but
we'll have to see who has the first show.
You're good.
I
Don't
think it
commit.
should be whoever gets the first show.
I gotcha.
Yet to be determined.
Connor Nowak, our returning champion, 22 years old, from West Seneca, New York. He's the guy that ended that 5-week-in-a-row run from Andrew Kopech, 6 weeks in a row run from Andrew Kopech by beating him 254 to 195 last week. And if you remember and were with us on last week's show, Sue just thought Connor had about the nicest bowling form that she's ever seen.
No, he's got a Very nice release. Very nice touch. And we've seen it all. We've, we've got the two-hander, that we have the no thumber, and now we have, just your traditional bowler that has a real nice hand.
Yep. And as you've noticed on the bowling shirt, Lawrence Tech University, a national championship NAIA college in Southfield, Michigan. But our connection to the show is his friends and former teammates Mike Weber and Tim Doan are also former Beat the Champ winners. And Connor has been a guy that has been attempting to qualify for our show going way back into season number 1 and just hadn't been able to make it until last week's show.
Seems kind of surprising with his, as solid as he throws it, that he hadn't made it yet, but we get to see him now.
Spares in the first 2 frames for Connor Nowak, and Tom Murphy off that impressive 226-158 win over Jonathan Kramer. Will try to find some groove here after a strike in the first. 54 years old from Williamsville.
He knew he lost that. As soon as it came off, he knew he lost it a little bit to the right, and that's where it's tight. So it's going to hold off hooking a little bit.
It almost looked like it's kind of started to the right as soon as it left his hand.
It did, yeah.
So a little bit of a challenging spare
yeah,
here.
None of these spares are that easy on these shots where the middles hook.
Good job by Tom Murphy to spare it up in the second frame. Our host center for Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart, is Transit Lanes, and you can follow them online at transitlanes.net. They're just one of our many great host centers. And if you want details on how to be a part of Beat the Champ, just stop in at any of our host centers and ask them how you can be on the show, and we might be seeing you here on the lanes. You've got plenty of time to do that, and we won't see you on the lanes until we come back for season number 3 in the fall. But that doesn't mean you can't start thinking about it and asking about it and figuring out how you're going to get on the lanes and try to beat guys like this. And I think the one thing that we've seen here in season 2 is we've gotten great turnout from local bowlers, and we've gotten a much more interesting variety of bowlers. The younger bowlers that we've talked about, we're starting to get bowlers from outside of our area, which is great. We've gotten some from Pittsburgh and some from New Jersey and downstate and Canada. So this show has expanded beyond just the Buffalo and Rochester areas, and that's great. Connor Nowak with the strike in the third frame. I think that just raises the level of competition across the board.
It sure has. And, stretching, to Newark and to Rochester has also, brought a lot of upstate people closer to us. And we've been introduced to a lot of new bowlers.
Yep. And, of course, next week on the Beat the Champ Invitational, we will see the Steel City striker, Sam DeWitt III from Pittsburgh, who has been our most successful bowler through the first 2 seasons. Oh, boy. He just has to go away from the pocket just a little bit. This was on the last shot, too. These shots were pretty similar. Just goes away a little bit and comes in weak. I almost don't want to see the reaction. Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of reaction out of Connor.
No,
That's
he's
as
pretty
close
stoic.
as you're going to get.
Even when we were talking to him, he's a serious young man.
Well, let's see if there's any 7-10 magic around, and not at this point. He'll get 1. Open in the fourth for Connor Nowak. So again, if you're a bowler and you're within a decent driving distance here, keep your eye on all the ways to get information, Facebook pages and so forth, and when you start to see dates for qualifying, we can't tell you how much we want to have you try to qualify for this show. The more new, fun, interesting bowlers we get makes it an even better show.
Sure, and in the summer we're going to have the two. Ooh, that was a big shot right there. The two BTC lives that we live stream 2 of the tournaments. It's all in one day, and it's the same format. You're still going to bowl the same way, but the whole thing is live streamed, and we'll have 2 of those over the summer. So have to keep an eye out for that. And the people who make the show for that are also able to qualify for the invitational. So that's another way to get an invite to the invitational.
There you go. The Murphy fans are liking what they're seeing so far. Yeah, that's right. We had 81 eligible bowlers for our Beat the Champ Invitational next week from both the regular season and the summer shows. And we've got our top 4 that we'll have for you next week.
2 big shots there.
So Connor Nowak is not only struggling a little bit, but again, watching his opponent not struggle, and that amps up the pressure. So Connor explained to us what a liquid formulation technician is, because that's his occupation. And I don't even know that I can explain it, but it involves like moleculars and biology, and it's involved in the medical industry, and it sounds like what he does is amazing work to help all of us live better. But that's the occupation as a very smart guy from Lawrence Tech University. Liquid formulation technician at Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Yep. He's now in some must-strike situations here because Tom's gotten a 33-pin lead by doubling his last time up. Oof.
And he won't get the strike there. So it'll be a spare opportunity in the 6th frame.
I know it's a little difficult to see your target here on the darker lanes, but he has been very, very accurate, as you can tell from his ball reaction on this left lane, because he's pretty much almost left the same thing all 3 times. He left the 7-10 and the 7-10 together, but the ball motion is all very, very similar. It's going to be hard to compete with Tom's ball motion.
It's a spare in the 6th frame. It'll take us to a timeout. We're in our championship match here at Transit Lanes. Back with the conclusion right after this.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
On a run of 3 strikes in a row, it's the 6th frame now for Tom Murphy. Just his 2nd appearance here on Beat the Champ. And got his first win, of course, in the match before this. And would love to get his first Beat the Champ weekly title should he win over Connor Nowak.
I will say that did not look like a 10-pin when it hit the pins.
Yeah, whatever that pin that was supposed to get over there kind of bounced up and over the top of the 10-pin. 6th frame spare for Tom Murphy. So again, we talked about how Tom has some pretty high-level experience in local tournaments and competitive high-level experience, and I think you've seen a little bit of that. You've seen him understand that his opponent was struggling a little bit and done everything he could to kind of up and amp up the pressure.
Yeah, we talk about experience, and that's something that you would attribute to more veteran bowling, is knowing when you can put the hammer down, right? And that's where he's at right now. He knows he's got good ball reaction. And
got good reaction, period. So now 7th frame for Connor Nowak, and he's going to have to make a big push here. And that helps. .226 average for the 22-year-old from West Seneca, New York. And former national champion, as I mentioned, former NAIA All-American, Intercollegiate Singles Championship 2023. So a lot of high-level bowling tied to Lawrence Tech and connections to some of the Buffalo guys. And you know, I can't say that I knew much of or I'd ever heard of Lawrence Tech until we started getting involved in this, and now you're like, they're like they're the Ohio State of college bowling there in Lawrence Tech, or I should say the Indiana of college bowling.
They sure
right
have
now.
spit out a bunch of great bowlers, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and we've had 2 other ones in Mike Weber and Tim Doan be winners on our show.
Yeah, it's like
and he's
next
now
level.
Connor's now the 4th Lawrence Tech bowler of that group of guys to bowl together to be on our show.
Just their composure and, the way they can handle themselves on the lane. It seems like they've been well trained and well experienced. But unfortunately, Connor can't get anything going to get some strikes, to get some strikes in a row and put some pressure.
Eighth frame, Tom Murphy going to leave the 7-pin.
Came in just a little bit light.
Well, that was close, but it's a spare for Tom Murphy. Hey, all new Beat the Champ merchandise is here from Coolwick, the official apparel provider of Beat the Champ. Check out all of our great designs, including our new official jersey, and get yours today. Rock a little Beat the Champ gear in the summertime around here in Western New York. That ups your cool factor if you wear a little Beat the Champ gear. Tell them I said that. Strike in the 9th for Tom Murphy on his way to claiming a victory.
Has not missed on that left lane.
That's what we should, with Tom, if you're going to win and then you get to be the champion all summer, like you got to wear Beat the Champ gear like every day just to remind everybody that you are the current returning. Everybody else only gets to wear that for like a week. You get to wear it all summer. Yeah, we will be back with Season 3 in the fall. Of course, next week to Beat the Champ Invitational, our special season-ending show. But the regular shows will kick in for Season 3 towards the early part of the fall. And We'll be back to show and showcase the best bowlers, not just in Western New York area, but in this upstate New York and adjoining regions area. And we have a lot of fun bringing this to you, and the response from the bowling community and the sports in general community has been awesome, and we thank you for that.
You know, this left lane was his nemesis. He never struck on this lane, and it really held him back. He struck almost every time on the right lane other than the first shot. So this lane did prove to be his downfall.
Are there any duties that the reigning Beat the Champ summer champion, like, does they have to come and help you clean up at Cherry Laurel Lanes at some point? Like, are there any required duties of the longtime summer champion?
I don't know. We'll have to ask our producer about that.
All right, we'll check with executive producer Joe Ciccone on that one.
He's going to be happy to not have to throw another shot on that left lane, I'll tell you that.
You know, you have to appear at grand openings and car washes and things like that.
Got to cut a few ribbons.
There you go. It's a 185 for Connor Nowak, but it's not going to be good enough because Tom Murphy is going to be our champion. And there's your champion showing off his skills and style. We'll wrap up the week and talk to our champ Tom Murphy when we return.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends.
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are
The bowling proprietors.
Of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. And by the Bowling Proprietors Association of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today. We have a new Beat the Champ winner, and his name is Tom Murphy. Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Tom, we've been bowling together a long time, and you've recently, or well, I shouldn't say recently, but you've gone to the no thumb. Walk us a little bit through what made you do that and what it's done for your game.
So I had a wrist injury about 2008, and I decided to play around with the no thumb. I was playing around one day, and it didn't hurt bowling with no thumb, so I pursued it. It took a long time to perfect it, I guess. It's done wonders. I played with bowling ball weights, like 14 pounds. That's what I'm throwing now. So it makes it a lot easier. I didn't have to stop bowling because I know a lot of people that have had that surgery have had to stop bowling, and it just hinders them. But I'm lucky.
Yeah, he sure is lucky. He's lucky and he's good. And he gets to be our Beat the Champ winner for the whole summer. We'll see him again next fall. We'll see you on Beat the Champ.